Welcome, everybody, to part 2 of everything you wanted to know about the afterlife but was afraid to ask.
He said it's more like part 6, isn't it? He
Yeah.
says, hi, everybody.
I didn't understand that last comment. Well, we'll go on.
Okay.
Now, in the afterlife, tell me some of the things that you have. Are there malls? Are there restaurants? Are there theaters? Tell me about some of the structures and establishments you have beside the one you talked about, the glass building.
He said, wow, you're really into this, huh?
I'm telling you, man.
It's wild. He's just running through pictures with me. I don't even know if he's purposely giving me the images. Maybe he's just running through pictures himself, figuring out what he's going to talk about. But so far I've gone by a big body of water. And it's not just a flat water, even though I feel like it's a lake. It has like a shimmer or a shine to it, like there'd be waves, maybe what the Great Lakes look like. Oh, yeah, now he's talking. Okay, got it. He goes, no need for malls. We don't need to shop. He's like, this is not a market-driven society. We don't have billboards. There's no need to have money, right? So we don't have these storefronts and exchanges for product and money. We don't really need to eat like we did when we were living. So we really don't have the restaurants and the foods and all these kinds of things. There's definitely a lot that you do leave behind when you leave Earth. He said, but there's a lot that you gain and you pick up, like music. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing right now.
What are you doing, Erik?
It's like he went off in his own world all of a sudden. Music is so fucking great.
Uh-oh. So tell me, what is it? Is it different from music on Earth?
The big time.
In what way?
You know how you hear some of those instructors say that, music can tune the body, music can heal the soul, etc., etc. And, I used to think, total bullshit, really. I used to think it's total bullshit. But I know that music would change your mood. It could make you want to get up and dance, it could make you smile. But the real... I know, I'm just not in a cussing mood, Erik.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Jamie, get with it. Go, go. The real fucking shit about the music is that it does attune the energetic body. It does attune the soul. Man, it touches the soul right to the center core of it. If you could imagine that it has a center core. Mm-hmm. It changes the vibrational quality, which changes the entire structure of yourself. So when we have concerts and music here, it's... I'm not going to tell. Oh, Erik, he says it's like one big fucking orgy. No sex involved.
Oh,
but you can imagine everybody's energies being attuned to the music that's playing. And he goes, now remember, it's not so much about conversation where we are. Like, we don't say, hey, Jane, how you doing? Nice to meet you, and reach out and shake hands. It's not this kind of interaction. It's more in depth. There's more strength and vulnerability where heaven is, where I am, where home is, rather than on Earth. Earth is very different. You have a lot of privacy. And he says it's very attractive in the same sense, but it's not needed where we are. You can imagine that when you meet someone, you don't just hear the words that are coming out of their mouth, you feel the emotions that they're feeling. Like, take empathic, right? Take being empathic to, like, the 10th degree. Yeah. And you feel what what the next person's going through. Now, imagine being at a concert, right, and you're tapped into what the music is doing to you, and it's changing your vibrational quality, which is totally affecting your health, your emotional status, and you have two people next to you that are having a damn good time with it too, and you're picking up on that shit, and you got the people in front of you and behind you, and then the other 1,000 people that are in the arena, and the other 1,000 people that are down with the music, and he says it's just amazing that it all comes together, it all comes in, and there's no way that you just zip yourself up and just say, I'm just going to listen to the music. It's not that kind of experience here. That's why the music's so fucking great. Now, you can either go and listen to it, or we also have a lot of gatherings where you come and you participate in the music. You play your music. He looks like a puppy when he does his head like that. He'll tilt his head. He goes, I'm still a little baffled, confused. Yeah, but in a good way, he's telling me. Yeah, in a good way though. Let's say I've never played the trombone, but I want to play the trombone, or I want to play this instrument, and I pick it up, but I've never played it before, so I don't know, the steps for it, the technical side to the instrument. Because what's crazy is, because I'm so attracted to it, and because I want to learn it, or you can say remember it, because all the information is available, then it just happens. It just like being so cute. He's so amazed. It just kind of fucking happens for you right then. You just kind of sit with it and you be with it, and you just fiddle around with it for a little bit, and all of a sudden you understand the instrument understands you, and you've got this relationship with it, and you can jam. Wow. Because it's just really cool.
Are there always people that create the music and play instruments? Is that the music you're talking about in the arena, for example? Do you have like an orchestra of spirits that play?
Well, it's just like we have people on Earth that play music, bands and orchestras, and got all kind of flavors of music, jazz, heavy metal, all that and more.
Do you have music that does not exist here?
Yeah. Not even... Erik, I just feel like I have to apologize to people when you start doing this.
Oh.
Not even that New Age, spiritual, angelic shit. It doesn't even touch what's up here.
All right, now we talked about colors. You mentioned colors. How are they different? I know that it seemed like you said that there were different colors that don't exist here on Earth, but in general, tell me about colors over there.
Yeah, it's wild. Once you die and you come back, like, ask those people who have near-death experiences that crossed over, ask them about color. Ask them about how it feels emotionally, because it's off the chart same way. Remember, Earth is... it's like this. Solid. It's intense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Being away from your body, you can't get this. Can't get this solidness. Like, you look at the color black, it's black. I don't know. He says it doesn't even look alive. It's just a color, right?
Are you talking about on Earth?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. It's kind of rambling right now, huh? When you pass away, the colors look like they have life to it in and of itself. And the colors on Earth look really muted and flat. Even though there's some great, beautiful colors. And it's hard to think that there could even be another shade of a color. Because we think on Earth you've got it nailed down, right? We took the rainbow, we made it, plus and minus, the hues and tones and all that jazz. But there's colors you've never seen before.
Okay. Now, Tell me about some of the work that you do there. Can maybe you specifically, but other people too.
He said, "Hi ho, bitches. I don't go to work."
Oh, you're so lucky.
He says, "I have a purpose and I have a passion, but I definitely don't go to work."
No 9 to 5 there, no
And
paycheck.
No. And I think everybody that you come across here that you keep asking, do you have a job? Do you have a work? They won't be able to identify it that way either. It's not like how it is down there that you prep and design your life around what your talent is or what your work is or what you chose. And then people often describe themselves by the work that they do. Oh, who are you? Well, I'm an architect. Well, I'm an artist. Well,
Exactly.
He goes, no, like you ask somebody here who they are, and it's like, well, I'm Erik, and this is what I like. This is what. Well, do you have a passion? Do you do something? Oh yeah, yes, I do. Da 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 da. And you talk about your work, in quotes, and how you engage, how you choose to engage with your life. So when I'm hanging out with my mom or hanging out with the people on the blog, I don't consider that work. That's really more of a discovery process for my own personal life, as well as the lives that I'm interacting with. It's all about growth. It's all about getting into the experience or the knowledge. And I think on earth, that description of job, work, and career lacks that definition of, I do it for growth, for more encouragement, for more understanding. Most people, they get stuck in, one thing, like licking stamps. And that's what you do, you lick stamps. But they forget to leave that job once they've understood it and got into it and go into something else. He's like, I'd like to tell everybody out there who's listening, who's watching, you're not stuck in your career. You're choosing to be in your career. And if you've learned it to the max, if you've maxed out, step over to the left or to the right, or step up. Make a change so that you can discover more growth in your life.
Good advice. Oh,
He says, I try.
You try hard too. Do you have to go through some preparation or learning or apprenticeship for some of these jobs?
He said, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it. He goes, yeah, because there's a lot of situations that, what are the newbies? Then just explain everything out in detail. Okay. There's a lot of positions here that we don't want, or we don't need spirits who've come into this place, home, heaven, higher dimensional planes, to just jump in and start helping. You need to have your own personal journey first, and through that, it places you in that growth pattern or that job or that career that you want to do for yourself. So we don't really run into people, spirit, trying to force themselves into, a position that really doesn't fit their needs. So it's not like you have someone over you going, okay, now you're number 2 and you can only hang out in the number 2 zone. You can't go into the number 3 zone. Like, we just don't have that kind of structure. Everything is internally guided. That came with more visual than words. Makes sense in my head, but I don't think it translates well.
So, here you wouldn't expect somebody in elementary school to start doing some brain surgery. Let's hope not. So, I always envision, like when you were a rookie guide, that it's like in the Olive Garden where a seasoned waiter follows you and you have this little thing that says trainee, a label that says trainee on it, and, like the guy's supervising how you take orders.
goes, what the fuck? I'm not good enough for Bennigan's? TGI Friday? I gotta be at the Olive Garden, huh? He's just laughing. He goes, no, you're right. So I knew I wanted to help people because I started that through you. You know, helping you understand what my choices were and helping my family and, you know, my brother and my sisters. And through that, I found fulfillment. I found a growth for myself. I found this calling, purpose, whatever you want to call it. Now, they weren't going to just let me jump right into the highest degree. I did have to learn that I couldn't interfere with people's destinies, that I should not just dole out advice if it's going to interfere with a person's life lesson, that there's a difference between guiding someone and doing it for them. And I needed to be very clear with that before I let loose. You know, and also, you get a lot of feedback. What do you mean? You get a lot of feedback from those who are working in your similar areas and your similar interests, but it's not so much as the teacher. It's more of he's yelling, I wish there were better fucking words for this shit. God damn it, it's so fucking hard. He says, you just know this shit. And you sit down and have a goddamn conversation about it. It's so, he's ticked. You're ticked. He goes, yeah, when you're where I am, most of the time you're feeling it. That's a whole nother fucking conversation in and of itself. And then you sit down and you take away that and you want me to talk about it? Oh, man. He goes, that's where it just gets crazy. He's like smiling, but he's so pissed about it, you can tell. So they don't let you just do it to the 100th degree. Do everything that you can or you want to. They'll have someone there that you can check in with, but it's not this kind of thing where it's like, you can't do that, young man. You gotta do it this way. No. You know, it's like not black and white. It's not as tangible as it is on Earth. It's kind of like them grooming you to really sit with the information, right? Because if we really sit with it and be with it and make a relationship with the situation, then we already have the fucking answer. So you don't have to go to somebody else and have someone mentor your teacher ass because you didn't know the information to begin with. That's how it is.
Okay. Well, one more question before we go into part 3.
Yes.
Can you work with your hands? Like build a deck or things like that?
When you said work with your hands, he kind of lifted a certain finger and he said, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did you get it?
Yes.
I'm not going to do it. He goes, yeah, I can work with my hands. He goes, no, it's, you don't have to do it that way. But if that's something that you were attracted to or it helped ground you in your human life, you can create that situation for you in the afterlife.
Okay.
You know, it's not completely removed. You can. He's doing the picture thing again. Apparently, it takes a lot of focus, is what he's sharing.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to have dense energies like that, be where it can be touched, manipulated, handled, because most of it is. Most of the energy is shaped or warped or changed by intent, or thought, or emotion. But yeah, he said, you can have it. He goes, I know you're not going to do that while you're here, so I don't know why you're asking that one.
That's probably true. I am not. I'm going to sit, you know what? I'm going to create a lazy boy and sit there for a few millennia. That's what I'm going to do. All right. That was a wonderful part 2. Thank you, everybody. And stay tuned for part 3 on the afterlife.